Hello, welcome to another Alpha Striker We Play video. I'm joined by Taryn.
Hey buddy, what's happening today?
Pulse lasers. So we've been talking about different direct weapons and things like that. So we covered lasers, ER large lasers and things like that, but now we're going to talk about pulse technology.
So we're going to run through, we're going to do all our direct energy weapons, and today is pulse. And pulse, I don't know, when they first came out, they were kind of one of my favorites.
I think they're everyone's favorites.
Yeah, when they first came out, I was like, I even started putting them in instead of LRMs. I'm ashamed of myself, but I did. They're very, very cool. After a while, I started balancing and I put my LRMs back, but I had pulse laser backup, you see. This is how you do it. You compromise. Dear.
So they come in 3 different types, like your standard lasers. You'll have a large, a medium, and a small.
So they are basically a standard laser, but they figured out how to make it pulse. So instead of a solid beam, you've got a...
Yeah, so it's like if you've seen like the night combats and things like that, you know, how the bullets fly off and you can see them.
Yeah. Have you watched Star
Wars?
That's basically a pulse laser. Yeah. If you fight it a little bit faster than the stormtroopers seem to be capable of. But that's the general gist, is instead of one solid beam, you get multiple pulses.
Yeah. And the advantage of that, of course, under the game rules, is that you get a bonus of neg 2 on your target number when you're using that weapon.
So all pulse lasers come with an automatic -2 hit modifier.
Yeah.
And that is, for someone who does not roll dice well, that is gold, people. That is gold. All right? They are worth their weight in, what is it, gold pressed latinum?
Gold pressed latinum. It's not that we'll take, but that's fine. We'll take it.
C-bills. There you go.
That's it. So let's have a look here. So the type is P, if you're having a look on the equipment table from Total Warfare.
We're back on page 303 of Total Warfare.
So pulse weapons give you a neg 2 to your target number, bonus.
All right. So we start with the small ones.
We'll start with the small.
You've still got the same damage, but you've got 1 extra point of heat.
Yeah.
And the extra equipment to make them pulse gives every single one of them just a little bit extra heat.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable, I guess.
It also drops their ranges a bit. So you'll see the small pulse is 2 heat, 3 damage, and 1, 2, and 3, which is basically the same as a normal small laser, but you get the -2 to hit. But if you move up to the medium pulse laser, you've got 4 heat instead of 3, and 6 damage instead of 5. Which is pretty cool. But you've got a 1 to 2, 3 to 4, and 5 to 6. So 6 is your maximum range, whereas with a medium laser, 9 is your maximum range. So you've sacrificed 3 hexes of range there.
Yeah.
And that's not... It's not overwhelmingly bad, considering the fact that you actually have that -2 modifier, but yeah. Shoot them as far away as you can.
It's a good strategy. I don't know. Well, I mean, you could always go with, the large laser, what's that up to? A long
out
range
to 10.
Of 10.
Yeah,
so,
and that's 10 heat for 9 damage instead of 8 heat for 8 damage.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
You do find, though, that the pulse weapons, they take up more slots and they are heavier.
Yeah. So
it's a bit more of an investment to mount it on your neck.
So your small pulse laser is 1 ton for 1 critical space.
Yeah.
Which is normally what you have your normal medium laser be.
Yeah, 1 and 1.
1 and 1. So a normal small laser is only half a ton. Okay, so... But that -2 mod... Nice.
Yeah, if you can get in close, it's good.
Yeah. If you've got a... What's the one I'm thinking of? Spider?
Oof.
Spider.
812. A little light one.
Yeah.
Jumps around.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was the Venom. There's one called the Venom.
Venom is like a slightly larger spider.
Yeah. It had I think it had like 2 medium pulse on it or something.
Yeah. So those are the sort of things that I would put pulse lasers on, because they're really, really quick. They build up a really solid modifier for the enemy, And although they're moving fast, that -2 for the pulse technology means that you're not as disadvantaged as you would be. So if you run flat out with, say, a Spider or a Venom, and you've got a pulse laser, then the 2 that you build up for running is immediately taken away for the pulse.
Yeah.
See, so you're balancing yourself out, and that makes them so much more deadly. So much more.
I think so. Especially like your light mechs and things like that. There, it's bait and switch, hit and run. So when it comes time to actually do your attacks, you want to make sure that everything hits.
Yeah.
And pulse weapons will help you with that.
They help you really sort out the enemy. So they're 2 tons for 1 space. So basically double the weight of a normal laser. And then the large pulse laser is, so the large pulse laser is 7 tons and 2 critical spaces, as opposed to 5 tons and 2 critical spaces. So not quite double there, but still.
Okay. So I did say that they take up more slots, if I remember rightly, earlier in this video.
I think
so. But they are heavier. I knew that they were heavier.
Yeah.
But well, it's good if they don't take extra slots. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
I thought.
I think the equipment for them to pulse is still contained within the actual area of the laser itself, but it all adds weight. So yeah, it's still the same critical spaces, but it's extra tonnage. And in the first 2 instances, it's double the tonnage. So, and that is never good. Not if you're making a mech. That's something you have to think about very carefully. But I do like medium pulse lasers.
Yeah.
I think they're good. I mean, the small ones, yeah, cool, awesome. The large ones, getting a bit heavy, getting a bit, heat intensive. But the mediums,
yeah,
good. You stick them on a small, fast mech, boom.
One of the good things about the small pulse laser, though, is if you're going up against infantry, like conventional infantry, it does actually give you a bonus to the damage. So normally you'd be doing a flat damage. Yep. So it does, what, 2 or what do you say? 3 damage. Yep. So if you're going up against conventional infantry and you hit with this laser, you actually roll 2d6, and that's how many men you take out.
Yeah,
so it is quite nasty.
Oh, it's horrible for conventional infantry. They don't like these. If you see on the table that we've hopefully still got up there, if we haven't been, there's next to the small pulse laser, there's under type, it's got P for pulse and AI for anti-infantry.
Yeah.
And then the little squiggle there. And yeah, that covers anything that's got that AI and the little squiggle, it does burst fire damage against standard infantry, and they are deadly.
Yeah.
If you are doing combined arms, you stay the poop away from these sort of weapons because they will hurt you.
Now that 2d6 is based on the troopers being in some form of cover. If they're out in the open, all infantry double their damage that comes at them. So one little small pulse laser can do a lot of damage if your dice rolls are good.
Yeah.
Not yours, because yours suck.
No, mine suck. But even
everybody else.
Even if you count it as the average, right? Even if you count it as the average, you've got, 28 guys in a standard platoon?
Yeah.
Between 24 and 28, I think, is a standard platoon. You have an average roll on 2d6 of 7, right? You double that if they're outside of cover, you got 14. You have halved that platoon.
From one little gun.
From one little gun.
One little pew-pew.
One little gun. So, yeah, if you're doing combined arms, keep your infantry in cover and keep them the blooming head fire away from these sort of weapons. Anything that says AI, if your enemy takes it, you take it out as quick as you can because it will mess you up.
So the clans, they also have pulse weapons because the pulse weaponry, it came about with the Star League.
Yeah.
And they just, all their tech has just been advanced from that.
Yeah.
So a large pulse laser for them.
Smarmy buggers.
10 heat, but 10 damage. So same heat, but it does 10 damage. So it's basically Innisphere PPC we're looking at.
It's got an extra point of damage over the normal ones. But the one that I hate is the range. Look at that range.
Long range of 20 hexes.
Yep. And that is double the long range of a normal large pulse, an Innisphere large pulse laser, I should say. So your Innisphere large pulse laser, maximum range is 10.
Yeah.
And that is just mean.
The clan large pulse laser is awesome.
It is killer.
It is absolutely awesome.
As the LRM addict I am going to once again point out that Innisphere LRM's max range is 21.
Yeah.
So they only have to get 1 hex closer to you than you think, and they can start hitting you with a direct fire damage laser weapon that does 10 points. No, and has a -2 to hit.
Yeah.
So that long range modifier of +4 has instantly been reduced to +2.
Yeah. And if you're playing games with the pilots and things like that, because you can modify that too, and better gunnery. I mean,
yeah, you've got pilot cards out there that get the one that range swaps. I can't remember what it's called, but basically it swaps one range with short range. So you could swap long range with short range. So all of your long range shooting gets a +0, and all of your short range shooting gets a +4.
Yeah.
Instead of the other way around. And that's just rude. With clan weaponry, all of its ranges are just out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's for the clan, it's just rude, but it's a lovely weapon.
If you have,
and no one will play you if you take them.
They hate your guts. If you have a clan mech and you see large pulse laser, as soon as you get within that 20, start shooting them. It's like, why would you not?
So the clans also have a micro pulse laser as well. So they had a micro ER version, but they've also got a micro pulse. Again, used primarily for the protomechs when those things were introduced.
Yeah.
However, there is a clan second line mech that actually has a whole bunch of those on them.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's got some other stuff, but I think it's called the Pinion. I think it's a Jade Falcon design. I'll have to go have a look.
More Jade Falcon. That guy's gonna love it.
Yeah. But yeah, it had some of those as some of its weapons.
I'm going to assume that was put in because of like the Innisphere infantry type things, because that's anti-infantry as well.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the bonus, but I think the Jade Falcons never really embraced the protomech technology. They had some issues with it, so I think they had all this equipment that was actually for the protomechs, and they were sort of cutting back the program for them. So they had to find ways to use it. I mean, it's still lasers, it still does damage, so they found it was all right to probably put onto some second line mechs, and that's what it is. But I mean, the Jade Falcons, they still use protomechs, but they've never really embraced it. But that's sort of what happened.
Oh dear. Well, I'm going to point out for the record, and to just really cinch how much I dislike clan, that large pulse laser that we were talking about that has all of that massive damage at that massive range takes up the same critical spaces as a Innisphere large pulse laser, but weighs 1 ton less.
Oh, really?
I hate them.
Yeah. Man.
If you can't be clan, you will hate clan. That's just how it goes.
And they're compatible with targeting computers as well. That's just
which is rude.
Ultimate rude.
Don't be rude. If you have pulse lasers, just keep the targeting computer out of it. You don't need it, really. Seriously.
Look, you're going to be paying BV for a unit.
Yeah.
You know, it comes down to how much damage it does and what range and all that sort of thing. There's the BV system lays it all out.
Yep.
So, you know, you are going to be paying probably top dollar to get it.
And while you're watching these videos, we're going to go through a lot of the weapons and equipment and stuff that we are in there and that we like and that we use. And the more you hear us like gush over it or how much I hate it, you can pretty much guarantee that the battle value and cost are increasing incrementally as we get more and more deadly stuff. So your standard everyday laser probably doesn't cost very much to make. It probably doesn't have a very high BV. And then you get into something like a large pulse laser or a clan large pulse laser, the cost is going up and up and up. I mean, the C-bill cost to put it actually into a mech will be high. The battle value cost to that unit will be high. So it's all balanced out. It's just rude when you can do like 10 points of damage at 20 range with -2 to your hit.
I mean, on a 2d6 dice system, that's pretty generous.
It's solid stuff. If you are clan, then yeah, find yourself a good mech with that sort of weaponry, and you don't need to look back. There's no minimum range. There's good solid maximum ranges. It's really quite easy to hit things with it. There's no ammo. There's no nothing. It's just insane.
And considering the clans do their dueling, one-on-one and all that sort of thing, it's makes it really good that way. But when we're talking in a sphere and combined arms and all that sort of thing, you can a mech that just has these sorts of lasers, you can find other ways to get around it. So, but as far as a one-on-one, your pulse lasers, they are quite good. At any size, they're all good.
Basically, yeah.
Cool. All right. So I think that's it for that.
That one's killing me.
Yeah, the pulse lasers. I do like them, and I think you should play some games with them and play against them to get a feel for it. Yep. They are quite good.
The Pulse are definitely my favourite laser. If I had to take a laser, I would take Pulse because I roll dice for poo.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, so Pulse lasers. I like
all
them.
good.
I think Taran does like them. He whinges about some of them, but they are good.
They're good.
All right, so we'll see you in our next video. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.